I'm moving the payload. Heroes never die.
Welcome to a new video. This one's a bit of a kind of commentary back from a really good game, which unfortunately we lose. But given that fact, I will run you through it in a few visions, not visions, POVs. But yeah, I'm going to stay quiet for most of it and trying to explain things, what I did or what I did wrong at periods of time. But yeah, I'm playing with a few friends here and kind of sticking to it. Alright, stay quiet here.
Attackers incoming. Ed, stop the payload. Ed.
Okay, here, I was a little bit, yes, don't mind the aim here. I was a bit kind of, I guess, stressed by the fact of how quickly they pushed up. So, as Honor, you've got to be ready for something like that, but stay in the distance whilst you can actually make good calls and plays relating to those calls. You got to also be aware of where other people are, i.e. that ball. So right there, with the Sigma, I was actually concentrating on the ball instead of trying to heal the Sigma, which is where I went wrong. Because obviously a healer is meant to heal, obviously. Rather than, yes, Honor is meant to do damage a little bit, but not in the way of the kind of full-on DPS in particular stages. She's meant to be able to kind of close it off. And here, Sheb, one of my friends, he he sees me die to the McCree, and and he takes revenge for me. But yeah, as a healer, you've got to be aware of where everything is, both where you are and where your team is in relation to you. That's plain never. Okay, there I just focused too much on the corner there. I wasn't concentrating properly. And there again, I didn't actually measure the distance of where we were in between. And obviously I kind of overjudged on what he was going to be. So that's why the nade didn't quite work. Now this wrecking ball was actually pretty good in the match, in the way of, like, he was just so infamous. So I literally just couldn't keep track of him, including this bit. This is where he really pissed me off. I literally didn't notice him until he was right on top of me, and that's why I completely failed. And sometimes you've got to make fucking snap decisions of what you want to use in which situation. And again, there I should have held on to the nade, because I knew he was very active with his guns and was very offensive. So I knew there was going to be a lot of damage around the place. Now that I was pissed about, because that should have hit, even with his hitbox. And I'm pretty sure that ball had the pocket. Yeah, there. If you look back, I actually have both of my abilities. I just don't bother to actually use them, which is really dumb because I could have actually helped them win this fight. Oh yeah. This was me having a funny argument with one of my friends because they were taking the piss of me about doing something, and they did exactly what I did at the time of that point. So I just was taking the piss out of them for doing that. But yeah, I wasted the nade and the dart there, so it's... yeah, and I was too aggressive in my plays because I jumped down into all the enemy. I didn't actually back off and stay in space. Like the ball there, the Reinhardt, I know he was like half health at that point, but he could have definitely gone a little bit aggressive on the ball because he was way out of position. So yeah, I nailed the Reinhardt because I knew he hadn't ulted in a very, very long time, and I was banking on the fact that he was kind of in the mid to high 90s. Yeah, that really, like, I stopped almost for a split second because I just can't believe I hit that smoke. But I'll come back to that. So here they wasted a lot of ults. So if you remember, they used the Mercy one, they used the Bull, and they used the Soldier, and possibly the Mora. But here I'm gonna stay quiet a little bit because this I will need to explain fully. Yeah, he got melted. I don't know by what. But his health was down to pretty much 0 in a split second. But yeah. So here, again, using a nade on a Lucio that heals is not a good decision. And there I didn't have my dart until late in that motion, so I couldn't do anything about that McCree. So with Ana's stuff, you've got to be very conservative about when you use it, and trust me, Ana can actually be a game changer at a particular point, like in any given moment, because she can place a fat nade in everyone, and you can then get if you have a ball, for instance, you can then just get him to slam and use his ult on top of everyone. So now here we lost it because we went in 1 by 1, and they were just all on point because they were all grouped together and actually played very well at the end of it from that last point. But let's go back to that sleep. So this is the Mercy in third person at true speed, and I'll slow it down a little bit when it gets closer to it. So she went for the res, she then uses the ult because she notices that everyone else is very low, and looking at her motion, she's very kind of sporadic, but yeah, I didn't quite take into account of kind of, I guess, her speed, but like from there it looks like it's gone over the head, but because obviously you dip down instantly when you get hit, it would have actually went through her head. And yeah, it was bloody perfect. So she's on the ground sleeping. This is a little bit closer, and in first person, like in real time. And then just as your point, this is my view of it. It's really bloody hard to sleep a Valking Mercy. So right there, that was a really good strike, because the only thing is no one actually followed through with it, which is why we couldn't actually capitalize on it. And if we had, I would have not actually made the sleep, but we would have been able to cut out her ulting and pretty much a lot of their ults, because they didn't actually use their ult until that point. So she'll come back down. That's her coming back down, and Dart comes in now, and hits her in the face, and she sleeps. And from that distance, like, you're obviously taking into account the height and a lot of others. I will see you in the next one. Deuces and peace.